we need to take off the belt because we need to get a pulley repacked. The bearing of this pulley down there that I'm lighting up right now is vibrating and squealing, so we need to take that out. So we're going to loosen the belt, and then we're going to remove that bolt to take that loose. So right there at the bottom, I've got my 1/2-inch drive. All my breaker bar just directly connected to the tensioner. It just has a square little opening that you can put the 1/2-inch drive directly into it. Now I'm going to have to push down on the handle in a clockwise direction to give slack. Then I'm going to slip the belt off right here off the main hub, because it doesn't have a flange and it's not keyed, so you can just slip it right off. So that's the best way to slip it on and off. And then we're going to loosen the bolt on this pulley and remove it. So I just took the bolt off right here, bolt and washers, so we'll keep that. It's a 1/2-inch bolt, so put that off to the side. Now this should be loose. So this particular pulley is a Roush pulley. So that's keyed and flanged. That's the back side, has a little pin. So that's a lock ring. But as you can see here, I don't even have to move it much. But that whole pulley, that should be tight. Should not be moving at all. So that's what's causing our squeal. So we've got the pulley out now, and it has a clip that's holding this bearing in. But we could tell this doesn't look straight, and you can also see that it's moving. So I'm afraid that this has been so loose for so long that it maybe, hopefully hasn't kind of scraped the inside of this pulley. So we'll take it out and we're going to inspect the inside and make sure it's all nice and smooth. But if it's okay, then we might get another pulley. I don't like that it has this much play in it. But we'll see. First we'll take the clip out and inspect it. So finally had the ring removed. I had to get some snap ring pliers to get this off. Now this was pretty tough to get off. It was set inside this groove inside the pulley. We marred it a little bit trying to get it out. Now that we got it off, you can see how bad this was, how much movement and play that we had in here. There should be no wobbling whatsoever. And what happened, I guess, is that maybe the pulley got hot somehow and it expanded. Because this is aluminum, it started just kind of spinning in there, probably just eating away at the inside lining of that pulley, and then eventually got a millimeter of space around the entire thing. So this lining in here, you can actually feel there's a little bit of a groove now. Not sure if that's visible, but there's a little tiny groove that I can feel now. Right here. So all this has been rubbed away. So I tried to order a replacement pulley. Of course they don't make this one anymore by Roush, probably because of this design. And they have a replacement FEAD shield kit available now that comes with a different pulley, and you have to put this piece of metal in front of it to try to, I guess, keep the belt from slipping off. They don't have this. We can't get a bearing that's going to help anything, so And the FEAD shield kit at the moment is back ordered for quite a while, so for the immediate fix, what I'm going to try to do is maybe take a Coke can, cut it up, and then try to get it sandwiched in between the edge so that it doesn't move around, and then put the pin back, because we've been driving this with this being loose like this for a little bit, so as long as it's not moving around as much, I think we should be good for another couple of weeks until we can get that other kit in. So I had a little orange juice can that I cut up, and then I cut a little strip and fit that in there, and then shorten it to the length I think I need. So I'm gonna just test that out real quick. Looks like my seam meets together okay. Alright, so that's what that looks like. And let's see if we can drop this in there now. Let's see how much wiggle room we have. Still a little bit, but not perfect, but it's definitely a huge improvement. It's like we could almost fit another one in there, so I'm gonna cut a second strip and put it in there and see if that'll fit too. Okay, so that's now sitting in there. See it kind of overlap the other one, and the other seam is right over here. So I'm going to mark it and then cut it to size. Alright, so I've got both of my shims in there, and now we're going to test it a second time, see if that's going to be nice and flush. That's actually nice and snug. It's not too tight, but it's I would say it's allowing it to move just a tiny bit. So I've actually decided to put 3 shims in there. I was actually able to fit 3 layers, and it is absolutely like solid now, and it just does not wiggle much, or if at all. So it's perfectly centered now. So now I'm going to install the pin. Safety pin in there, bearings in there. Now there's a little bit of front to back movement because the pin doesn't keep it in really tight. But overall I'm very happy with this until I could get the FEAD kit in, but I think depending on how much this holds up, I may keep this for now, and then if it ever does start squealing again, then change it out to the FEAD kit from Roush. So now we're ready to install this on the truck. So we're gonna install the pulley with the bolt, torque it down to 25 Newton meters, which is the same as like 18.44 foot-pounds, so we're going to do 19. And once we have that tightened, we will put the belts back on. We have the pulley back in, however, I was just trying to touch it with my hands, trying to wiggle it, and there seems to be play still. If I move it back and forth, it still has a lot of wiggle. So that's the front to back clearance, but side to side it doesn't move anymore. So hopefully that's not going to be a huge problem, but that may still cause a squeal, and if it still squeals I'm going to replace it. with the kit. But we're gonna just go ahead and put the belt on and test drive it. So I'm gonna have Jessica start the engine and let it run for 10 seconds so that we can see if anything in the belts is slipping. Go ahead. So now we're going to just double check, make sure everything's still aligned, and then we should be good to go. Now we checked the belts, everything's good. Now we can actually start the truck, let it run for a little bit to see if we hear any squeaks, and I don't think we heard any initial squeaks, so we should be good. Go ahead, start it. Hear any squealing yet? Just a little high-pitched whistle. I think that's from the supercharger, but no, the pulley itself is fine.